Hey girl, hey, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Misha. Thank you guys for joining me yet again for another review. We are back with a brand new review for the Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip Season 3, Episode 3 and 4. Episodes 3 and 4. If you are new here, then welcome. I'm sorry I'm late, y'all, honey. Okay, I'm sorry I'm late, but we here. We in this thing. They releasing too many episodes all at once, child. It's overwhelming, okay? It's overwhelming. If you are new here, then welcome. I give lighthearted reviews with a little bit of laughter and a little bit of shade and a whole lot of detail. If you're back for a second or third time, then welcome back. Y'all, please don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Share with a friend. Hit that notification bell so that you will be updated each and every time I upload a video. Now, child, let's get into it if we gonna get into it. When the episode first opens up, for episode 3, we are still at the dinner. Leah and Marisol are still fussing about her stomach hurting. And Leah saying she's bored. Marisol, you drank too much. Gizzard is like, girl, hush. Okay, the story is new to me. I want to hear the mess because I like to be in other people's mess so they ain't in mine. Marisol is like, in her confessional, I'm a happy drunk. I didn't have to stop drinking. She did. Well, you should stop drinking. I know you didn't have to, but you damn should. Your stomach is toe up from the flow up. So now they're all mad at Leah. So Giselle is like, if I'm telling y'all about my life and you say it's boring, it's not cool. Well, Giselle, it's boring. That's probably why you stay in other people's business, because yours is boring. So Leah goes, I'm sorry. It's not that deep. Here go Porsha. Y'all say sorry quick, because nobody has time to be fussing with you and Giselle through the whole situation, honey. We want to enjoy the vacation. Ain't nobody got time to be arguing with y'all. You mad because she apologized. You mad because she say something like, girl, what? So they all pissed. Porsha feels like Leah should just go on back home because she don't want to get to know nobody. So Candace gets up to go to the restroom and comes out to perform Drive Back in her loofah dress. Boy, you know you make me drive back. Honey, okay. Candace, side note, baby, that dress is a fool. But the performance was cute, but that dress, it wasn't dressing. And Giselle in the confessional talking about that dress. No, Giselle, you the last person to be talking about some fashions. Okay, fashions, that's not your strong suit. We see over on the side that Marisol is telling the set medic that her upper stomach is burning. You probably have an ulcer. Talking about Leah, I don't have to quit drinking. You will if your stomach get burnt the hell up. You have an ulcer. Take it easy. Try drinking some water. Your kidneys are probably screaming. If you do not drink water, you will literally shut your entire body down. You too old to act like you don't know what's going on, Marisol. You worried about Leah, but you need to be worried about your stomach. Moving forward. On the bus, on the way back, Giselle tells Porsha, she was being a little bit shady, but Candace is normally a responder. She's not an initiator. She doesn't get mad. You have to do something to her. Well, honey, I'm glad you know. So those names that she gave y'all, Porsha, that was for you on that chat room. And Giselle, that was for you being messy with her man. A girl gone. In the next scene, it's the next day. It's Alexia's yacht party. And all these heifers got together and argued about everything. When I say everything, I mean everything. Everybody was fighting. In the middle of the fight, Leah gets her period and has no tampon. So then she gets her tamponless self in the hot tub while everyone else is falling the hell apart. I thought that was so gross. When I tell you I thought that was disgusting, you have absolutely no feminine product and you're in this hot tub. I don't know if you're trying to alleviate your cramps. I don't know what you're doing in that hot tub, but you don't have nothing to cover up your whatnots. In a full-on string bikini. Child, it was just so nasty, honey. So they're mad at Leah because she said that she was bored on the boat. They're still harping on her being bored. It's Porsha versus Leah, Gizzard versus Leah, Marisol versus Leah, Alexia versus Leah. That's too many damn people on one person. Now, that might be an unpopular opinion and people are like, oh, Leah gets on my nerves. Yeah, Leah did get on my nerves on Roni, but right now, that's too many people on one person, okay? Like, she said she was bored. Get over it. Okay, it's not like she said something about your children or something. Like, she said she was bored. If she's bored, that's her truth. So Leah comes outside and Candace tells her that Giselle said some things about her husband. So Leah was like, wait a minute, let me get this straight. She getting on me and she said something about that? Oh, okay. That's why I don't understand why everyone was in the comments last week saying, Misha, Candace is talking to Giselle because she didn't see all that she said. Right here in this scene, she is clearly stating that Giselle said some things about Chris. She was living it. I ain't got to see what you said on TV. I was living it. What I'm going to see on TV, I was a part of. So that didn't make any sense to me. If you did me wrong in person, I don't have to see what you did in addition to. What you did to my face was enough. This yacht party or yacht ride, honey, was the most chaotic thing I have ever seen. I can't even figure out what everybody was arguing about. They basically don't like Leah. Okay, we got that. They don't like Leah. As I stated, Leah was not my fave on Real Housewives of New York, but I don't mind her on this show. I don't. And everything she said was true. It was boring. And Marisol drinks too damn much. What is wrong with that? What is wrong with that? Side note, Candace, this big goofy hat is ridiculous. Okay, it's just pure D ridiculousness. Okay, it's just too big. So while Leah is in the hot tub with no tampon, Candace tells them, that being there has given her awful anxiety. She calls her mom every night. She feels alone and she's, nervous because she doesn't really know anyone. And we have to remember that she's coming off the heels of season 7 or season 6. It's one of them, child, of Real Housewives of Potomac. So Gizzard is not her favorite person. So she like, I don't even know none of these women. Like, she's just anxious. She's like, it's hard. And I just try to keep it to myself. And I just don't really think it's fair that when Leah states how she feels, everybody's coming down on her. I don't think that's cool. Porsha's like, okay, so you have anxiety, but your event was the shadiest. Porsha, what does that have to do with the price of tea in China? What does her being anxious have to do with her being shady? That's her personality. But that doesn't mean she's not anxious. So now they fight. So now it's Porsha versus Candace. I'm like, oh my gosh. Porsha's like, yeah, if I had anxiety, I would be nice to everybody. So Candace goes, well, that's you. Don't try to project your feelings onto me. That's what you would do. That's not what I would do. This is stupid. All of y'all are fighting over nothing. I have come to the conclusion that water makes these heifers lose their damn minds. Every single boat ride that a Housewives franchise has gone on has ended in foolery, even down in Miami. Okay, it just don't make no sense. What is wrong with y'all in the water? So they go inside the yacht to eat lunch, and Alexia is giving them a little Spanish lesson. The way these housewives can just fight, and then the next second it's all good, that is crazy to me. I couldn't make it as a housewife. I hold on to things. If you do me wrong, I can't do nothing with you until I process what's happening. I cannot go from, well, and then everybody, are you hungry? You guys are so silly. I can't do that. I cannot do that. So child, they take 2 bites of the food and it's back to the fussing. This time, Heather versus Whitney. I'm like, what is going on? Heather, we don't give a damn how you got the black eye. Okay, you ain't gonna tell. You know exactly how you got it, and you're not telling. Whitney, leave the woman alone. Okay, leave her alone. Why are you bringing this over here? This was the boat ride from hell. Okay, now the boat ride from hell is over. All the ladies are getting ready for bed. But y'all, the best part of episode 3 was Heather reading Porsha's book, turning the page. She was turning the pages and she was reciting Mariah Lynn. Once upon a time, not long ago, I was a pro. And I'm in it, can't take it back. Cause I did this. Okay, when I tell y'all I was hollering, she didn't read not one real word on that page. I can't stand these apples. I can't stand them, honey. And that was the end of episode 3, honey. I summed it up in a nice little bow. Now let's get into a whole lot of detail for episode 4. When the episode first opens up, it's the next day. It's Porsha's day to host, okay? Pepsi is telling the Miami ladies that they're having a Thai barbecue. So Porsha and Giselle are talking and they're walking down the walkway, right? They're talking about Giselle and the girls getting in the hot tub. So Porsha goes, well, you know the white girls, they just show everything, boobies and all, honey. They just be out there. So Giselle goes, well, this girl is black. Porsha said, I mean, you're a black white girl. She said, girl, no, I'm black. Porsha said, well, I mean, you're Creole. Not Porsha calling Giselle a white girl. Catch it. Y'all hit. Okay. So Giselle is like, no, my mom is black. My dad is black. So after they get through with that little exchange, in the room, Leah and Candace are talking and she's asking Leah if she's feeling any better about today because, you know, how everybody was pouncing on her yesterday. So Leah goes, yeah, you know, I'm sure Giselle has said worse things than I'm bored at dinner, but she wanted to come down on me. Oh, you best believe that she has said much worse. But when anybody else says anything, she starts with them. And I really feel like watching episode 3, they feel like Leah is an easy target. Now, I do not care how anybody else feels about it. This is my opinion, the unpopular opinion, I'm sure. But I feel like they're picking on Leah. Yes, Leah is, a piece of work or whatever. But at the same time, if she feel bored, she just feel bored. Because I can guarantee you, if Porsha said, okay, I'm bored, everybody would have got a little chuckle out of it. Because it's Porsha. So I just feel like, Giselle, you see an easy target and you're going for it. That's just that on that. Moving forward. So Candace is telling Leah, well, girl, don't let them see you walk away because then they feel like they can punk you. Candace, now I know you done walked away a few times. You can walk away, Leah. Just don't be doing all that crying and carrying on. Because that's when they know they got you. You can walk on away, but don't be doing all that crying. These two being friends it's a very unlikely pair. But Leah always attaching herself to somebody. When she was over there on Real Housewives of New York, she had attached herself to Ebony. So, I don't think Leah can really stand alone. I guess she needs somebody because these heifers a trip. In the confessional, Candace is like, you know what? I am exhausted from all of the drama. Like being a housewife and being on a scripted soap opera, it's no different. It's the same drama and the same foolishness, except our lives are real. Well, some of y'all's lives, honey, because some of y'all live in the land of make-believe. And some of y'all live in an Etch-a-Sketch house. I'm just saying. She feels like they deserve an Emmy. No. I do not want to see As the Gizzard Turns. I don't want to see it. But it was cute. The intros are exactly how they do on the stories, as my grandmother would say. They called it Days of Our Wives. I said, baby, this is a trip. You know that Housewives production is top tier. Of any show, reality show on television, you're loving hip hops, you're loving Marriage Huntsvilles, you're loving this, you're loving that, you're ready to love, honey. It's all about love and it ain't nothing but hate. The producers on a Housewives franchise cannot be matched. They are top tier when it comes to producing a scene and when it comes to producing, some cool edits. So I thought that was so cute. I was like, look at these heifers. Moving forward. Candace was like, yeah, I want my Emmy because, I worked hard to give them my real life and tell them I said that. Now, I wanted to know when she said that, was that shade towards Robin? Like, did she already know that Robin didn't reveal what was going on in her real life during this time? It's just so much, honey. I don't really know the timeline of it all, but I know that they had not had the reunion yet. So maybe things were coming out on the Twitter. In the next scene, all the ladies are coming down for breakfast. Leah, Heather, and Marisol are at the table. So Heather tells Leah, I'm okay. I just saw your text message. Girl, you saw that text before you sat down. But anywho, so they're all talking. So then Heather asks where she is with everybody. And Leah was like, I'm fine. So Alexia goes, it was just a moment. It really wasn't that big. The heaviest conversations are between you and Whitney, looking directly at Heather. I'm personally bored with the cousins fighting. Take it to Salt Lake. Okay, I don't want to see. I don't like the Salt Lake City franchise. Okay, maybe that's why. And I just really don't want to hear it. I'm bored personally. So I just don't want to hear them arguing back and forth. So Leah said, she told me to watch out for you, Heather. That's basically what Whitney had to say. Heather said, well, if that's the case, then we're no longer friends. Are you friends or are you cousins? Which one is it? Porsha and Giselle, they come down, they join them for breakfast. They're looking for the massages. And Porsha is like, well, if you lay down, they will come. No, that's not how it works. Oh, something wrong with Porsha. Something's wrong with her. Girl, what? No. Is it set up for us to get the massages or what? So she tells us that it's raining. So today it's going to be all about massages and games because she's like, these girls seem a little strung up. Strung up? Where the hell live at? It's high strung. It is high strung, girl. Not they seem a little strung up. Oh, baby. She's like, yeah, we gonna do some team building. Girl, y'all ain't about to build not damn piece of a team. In the room, Whitney is on FaceTime with Lisa Diet Coke Barlow. Hey, girl. Back at the table, Heather is telling Porsha that she needs to do, her offering because she need to be cleansed. She got to pray. Because the way these heifers acting, it's getting on her nervous system. Whitney is working her nerves and she just really needs to cleanse herself. Whitney is in the room telling Lisa that Heather is a liar. she's like, I called her out about being a Mormon and getting her name off the roll and saying she doesn't like you and blah, blah, blah. So then Lisa starts giving her 2 cents. Ma'am, you weren't invited. You weren't invited on the trip. Okay, so therefore, and thus and such, we don't give a, okay, y'all know what I like to say. Whitney feels like she was loyal to Heather because Heather brought her on the show. And they both didn't like Lisa. So they had a disdain for one lady, and that's how they bonded. And, you know, she feels like they built a friendship on that. Are y'all even real cousins? Because it seemed like all y'all doing is lying. Also, why are you FaceTiming Lisa? Whitney bugs me for some reason. She really does. She really bugs me for some reason. She's like, I just feel like I'm indebted to Heather. You're not. Okay, you both were chosen at the same time. You both were chosen for season 1. It's not like she was on there for years and then she brought you on. You still had to audition. So no matter if she introduced you or not, it was up to you to bring it home. So you did that. So you don't owe her anything. You're fine. Back in the breakfast room, Porsha's at the table trying to give Heather some advice on how to move forward with Whitney. She's like, both of y'all are doing the same thing. I mean, it's 15 years of her trying to get her name off the roll. And how has it been for you? And she gonna say, well, I mean, I haven't even tried. My time, my money, nothing goes there. Then why did you say that then? Why did you say something was going there if nothing was going there? Girl, what? So Porsha is looking at her confused like, girl, what are you saying? You just said yesterday that you were getting your name off. So in the confessional, Porsha goes, what is the real truth? So you ain't a bad Mormon. You just a bad liar. Now, Porsha, I'm with you when you're right. Because Heather, what are you even talking about? The way I'm so unconcerned about them and so unconcerned about Whitney and Lisa's conversation is I'm just so unconcerned. I don't care. So as they're sitting downstairs, Pepsi brings over Porsha's daily KFC. Porsha, you gonna turn into a chicken by the time you leave Phuket? Girl, eating that KFC every day. So Leah is doing a confessional, right? And she's talking about how certain people are following the in crowd. So they aren't saying certain things. They aren't behaving like they normally would because they're followers. She's like, look, I can be the only one standing at the end of the day, but I'm going to stand up for myself. When everybody was screaming at me, Candace was the only one that was down for me. I'm not a follower. I'm going to say what it is that I feel. So maybe tomorrow when I come into the confessional, then I'll have something more positive to say. As for today, this is what you get. Moving forward. So it's time for the massages. Now, baby, this right here was a fool. So it's time for them to get the massages, right? They're all laying down. So the lady is massaging Giselle's feet. Giselle's rude behind gonna say, soft touches. First of all, who you talking to? That's number one. I cannot stand when I tell you this is my biggest pet peeve. This will allow me to know whether or not I want to continue a friendship with you or an intimate relationship with you. If I'm out with my friends or if I'm out with a guy that I'm potentially interested in calling my boo. If you are rude to service people in service positions, we cannot vibe. I don't like people who are rude to servers, masseuse, estheticians, garbage men. The list goes on and on and on and on. If you are rude to people that are servicing you, I can't do nothing with it. This has really made me dislike Giselle even more. Like, why are you being rude to her? There's a way to say it. Just as tacky as those fashions. I would have leaned my whole elbow on her crusty the clown feet. I would have. When I tell y'all, I would have put that elbow so good in them feet. Girl, don't be talking to that woman like that. But the noises coming from these massages made me a bit uncomfortable. Okay, I'm like Candace. Candace said, are we in a brothel? Are we in a bathhouse? Like, what is going on? I don't know what it is, but it definitely did not look relaxing or enjoyable. That's not my kind of massage. I want to get somewhere where I'm laying down. Everyone's quiet. Okay, it's peaceful. It's serene. I can hear the water and you're massaging me and whatnot. Okay, and make sure you're covering me because I don't want to be too hot. But this right here, with all the moaning and groaning and backs cracking, and I didn't like it. I just didn't like it. So they get in a confessional. It's Porsha and Giselle. And so Giselle was like, ooh, they was trying to massage my everything. They tried to touch my vagina. Porsha gonna say, well, I need to get my money back because ain't nobody touch mine. Giselle always claiming somebody want to massage her lady parts. Girl, get out of here. Ain't nobody trying to massage your vagina. Girl, gone. So the massages are over. Heather is in the sitting area, right? So Giselle comes up. She's like, let's check on Jen. Giselle is determined to see if Jen got shackles on her feet, honey, and cuffs on her hands. She's like, let me see if she locked up yet. Call her. So Heather is trying to stall, talking about, well, it's midnight, so she may be sleeping. This lady actually called Jen's phone. If I were Jen and I answered that phone, I would have cussed Heather smooth out. Ma'am, do not call me so that Giselle can get a glimpse of me. Okay, like, girl, why are you calling this woman? Crooks always have a burner phone, so I'm sure that Heather called it because Jen Show didn't answer that phone. Girl, goodbye. So Giselle was like, did I call her a criminal in her confessional? I mean, she is going to light me up on the Twitter. Oh, yeah, she going to light you up, honey. All the way up from the pen. Moving forward. Heather really wants Giselle to like her. Po thing. You talking about Whitney, but you want Giselle to like you as well. I think both of you are trying to fit in. It's okay. It's okay. Stand in your franchise. Stick together. It's going to be all right. Side note, baby, I can say a lot about Giselle, but baby, she is eating the girls up in these confessionals. Now, I don't know if this is a Thailand glam team, but they need to be in Potomac. Send this team to Potomac. Because, baby, the way Giselle is effortlessly looking like something, I said, now this you're on point with. If you want to put makeup on to go eat a baguette, so be it. Shout out to Phaedra Parks, honey. Giselle is looking good in these confessionals. Now, when she do her own thing and she just get outside, child, she had that wig on and ain't got no part. But this right here, she looks good. You can tell the wigs that Cal sent with her and the wigs that they had on set. Them Cal wigs ain't got no part. But the wigs that she wearing in them confessionals, baby, them things is everything. In the next scene, it's time for the Thai barbecue, and they have to prepare it themselves. So, the helpers ain't happy. Everybody complaining. Just sit down and eat. Pepsi is like, yeah, it's Thai style, not Miami style. You better get them together, Pepsi. And he said, don't play with it, okay? So Leah was like, well, I can't eat any of it because it's all soaked in pork oil. Now, my thing is this. When you're having food prepared, you need to make sure that everyone will be able to partake in said food. I think that's just a common courtesy. Now, maybe they were unaware that it's in pork and she doesn't eat it, because she doesn't eat pork. She's kosher, whatever. But they need to make sure that everybody can partake in the food. Or maybe that's just me. And these days, there are a lot of different diets. So you just got to make sure it's something for everybody. So they ain't at the table 5 minutes. And Candace done folded this tissue to a point. And she wants to address something with P. Willie. That tissue done made it to Thailand. It is worldwide. Honey, somebody tell Candy. Candy, you ain't worldwide. Candace's Triangular Clinics is worldwide, baby. The tissue got a passport. When she pulled that tissue out, I said, oh my God, here we go. I want Candace to leave this season 5 mess in the past. I don't want to keep reliving that. I don't want to hear it. But since she gonna address it, I don't want her to cry. That's the biggest thing. Just don't cry, girl, because that makes them think you're weak. You can articulate something without. She's very emotional. Just tell them what it is. You ain't got to cry. So Porsha gets in her confessional. She's like, one thing about Candace, there will be no tear left behind. She communicates by cussing or crying. Now, Porsha, stop the cap, okay? Because when you hit the scene on season 6 and y'all were on y'all way down to Savannah, when you first joined Atlanta and the heifers were being mean to you, you communicated by crying as well. How quickly we forget. Yes, you are a seasoned housewife, but you also communicated by crying. So then she brings up the Monique fight. She said, it really wasn't the fight that was upsetting to me. It was the aftermath. I was okay, but people thought that I threw glass on somebody's face. And then Porsha went on chat room and told everybody that I was suing Monique to pay for my mom's house. So Porsha said, well, I was just being there for my friend because, I've been through it. So I was just being there for her. So Candace feels like it was defamatory. Here go Porsha. No, it wasn't because it was facts. Now, Porsha, dang on well that was not facts. Y'all were talking about it. And Monique probably said to you, yeah, she's suing me to pay for that mama's house of hers. That's her mama's house. Dang on well, that's what she said. And then you went onto the chat room and you repeated it. Because she is your friend. So now it's facts. Let's be very for real. Okay, let's be for real. So Candace goes, no, it's not facts. First of all, I didn't sue her. And secondly, I didn't sue her to pay for my mama's house. So then Giselle chimes in. And she's like, well, I use the same platform to defend you. What do you have to do with it? I thought she was addressing Porsha. Nobody was talking to you, Gizzard. So Candace is like, well, I mean, Monique was given a platform and I wasn't. So Giselle somehow made this about her. She's like, I lied for you and I defended you. So Giselle says she defended her because basically everywhere she went, people were coming down on her about Candace, and she was defending her in the line at Starbucks and in the Whole Foods and getting that tacky wig tacked on. Everywhere she went, she was defending Candace. Giselle, the point that she's making is, although you defended her, she would have liked to speak her speech on her own. Plus, she never said that you didn't defend her. She didn't take that from you. She's just talking to Porsha about how what she said in the chat room made her feel. So Candace was like, I'm grateful, but I wanted to speak for myself. What is so bad about that? So Porsha feels like she should be happy because she brought hearsay when Giselle brought facts. Y'all are confusing me. Porsha, didn't you just say you were just speaking facts? Now it's hearsay and Giselle brought the facts. And according to you, Giselle, you just said you lied for her. So what you said wasn't facts. All y'all crazy. Every last one of y'all. Every last one of y'all getting on my nerves. Giselle, you just got through saying that you lied for Candace. Therefore, and thus and such, you didn't bring the facts. Porsha, you just got through saying there were facts, and now you're saying you should be happy I brought hearsay. Portia's like, yeah, well, I mean, she going in on me, not even realizing that Giselle had her back. Ma'am, and again, nobody came to negate that. Nobody. She was addressing you, speaking on it as though you knew what you were talking about, and you did not. So Candace brings up her journalism degree. Porsha is like, yeah, you might have the degree, but I have the journalism jobs. Girl, you were down to the Dish Nation with Ricky Smiley and them. Oh, child, I'm about to play with Porsha. So Candace was like, in her confessional, she hasn't learned anything from the first time she repeated false statements, and I think she owes me an apology. So Marisol looks directly at Candace and she goes, it's a fluff opinion show. It doesn't matter. Thank you, Marisol, honey. Maybe you need another cocky, honey, because you're the only one making sense at the table. It's an opinion show. We don't give a damn. Nobody even thought about that. Nobody probably even remembers that Porsha even said that. And say it again for the people in the back, Marisol. It's a fluff opinion show. So Giselle and Porsha gonna look at each other and say, not a fluff opinion show. Oh, okay, so our show was just a fluff opinion show. Y'all know what that reminds me of? That reminds me of when Porsha said on one of the reunions, she was like, I'm a journalist. And Andy said, oh, you're a journalist? Porsha said, oh, okay, so you downplaying my job? We report on news. Oh, everybody is a journalist. Tamar is a journalist. Porsha is a journalist. But Tamron Hall, who has a journalism degree, she ain't no journalist. Okay, she just a gossip queen. Porsha, I'm not about to play with you. So after getting absolutely nowhere, they play a game where they separate. They get in separate teams by city. But Leah doesn't have anybody from New York. So Porsha combined their names like they do celebrities and called them Poor Leah. Okay, it's giving picking on Leah at this point. You know exactly what you were doing. This is my opinion, because it could have been Pia. Why did it have to be Poor Leah? And Leah's like, oh, okay, I get it. Poor Leah. Okay. So in the confessional, she's like, Porsha has a thing with me. Like, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because I am not on a season right now, or I have the least seasons under my belt. I'm not sure exactly what it is that's happening. So they put on these elephant suits and start this game. It looked silly and fun at the same damn time. It looked like a good time. It basically looked like volleyball in an elephant suit. And they were having fun. So as long as they're having fun and not acting a fool, I'm for it. Moving forward. The next game was tiny hands. So they have to eat as much as they can in 60 seconds using the tiny hands. So they play this game and I forgot who won. Then they have one more game. It's called Spew It or Chew It. You have to tell the truth or eat a scorpion, but you cannot eat the tail. Okay. You want to live to tell the tail. So you don't want to eat the tail. When I tell y'all, I would have been so truthful. This would have been the one day people could have asked me anything they have ever wanted to know, because I am for sure telling you exactly what it is. Okay. So she asked Leah, who do you think out of the cast members on season 13 of Real Housewives of New York should not be asked back for the Legacy spinoff? It's obviously Ramona. That would be my vote. It's obviously Ramona because they have a thing with each other. But Leah ate the scorpion because she's like, I really don't have time. I'm trying to be positive. I don't have time. Well, child, at least you got some food in you, okay? Because they had pork oil on the other side. At least you got to eat. At least you got to eat. Side note, why are Candace and Leah dressed like the Spice Girls in this confessional? What is going on? People of the world, spice up your life. That's what y'all are giving. If you want to be my lover. Y'all are giving me Sporty Spice and Baby Spice in this confessional. And I have no idea why. I don't know what's happening. I really just don't know what's happening. So then she asks Whitney to name 3 lies that Heather has told on camera since she's been there. So she ate the scorpion and she's like, I don't want to be messy no more. Like, I want to talk to her. I don't want to be messy no more. I'm like, girl, where did you get this accent? You hang around Giselle and Porsha for 2 seconds and all of a sudden you talk about, I don't want to be messy no more. Was it just me that caught the accent? I said, what in the black sin is happening here? Child, this is too much. Anywho, she don't want to be messy no more. And so she wants to extend an olive branch by eating this scorpion. And Heather was like, well, I mean, she might as well go and say what it is she want to say. She been saying it. So then they asked Heather, who gave her the black eye? Are we ever going to not care who gave Heather this black eye? It seems like this is what we have been going through since this whole trip started. Who gave Heather the black eye? They didn't find out on Salt Lake, and y'all ain't gonna find out over here. And of course, Heather ate the scorpion, which tells me that she knows exactly who gave her the black eye. Heather, you answered the question by not answering the question. At this point, we don't give a damn. So then she asked Marisol who she trusts the least, and she said Leah, because, you know, they got into it, and Leah said her stomach hurt, and she said, girl, go to hell. You know how they do. So that's that. So that's who she trusts the least. So Giselle is hosting Mardi Gras night. So they have to get ready in 45 minutes. So the helpers head back to the room. They get back to the room and Marisol is upset that the room isn't clean. So she's blaming Pepsi. You just nasty. Even though they haven't come to clean the room should not look like this. It is stuff everywhere. Like, girl, this room is a mess. So Alexia is telling Marisol, like, don't blame Pepsi. He's been great. This is not his job. His job is to take care of us, and he's been doing that. Marisol is becoming crabby. She need to lay off that alcohol. Lay off that liquor. Okay? If you can't handle your liquor, then you shouldn't be drinking. Okay? Because it just don't make no sense. And these two sharing this room don't make no sense either. And it's not going well. Why are they sharing this room anyway? Their home is Peacock. If anything, they should have gotten a better room than anybody. This is where their franchise is being aired on Peacock. So we see exactly how they feel about them, honey, because they're the only two that's sharing a room. And in my opinion, this room is worse than the room that Leah has. I don't like sharing no room. I do not like sharing a space with anybody when I'm on vacation, child. Please give me my own room. So everyone is ready for Mardi Gras dinner. What does Leah be wearing? Can anybody tell me down in the comments what Leah be having on? Because it just be looking so tacky. So in the van on the way to the dinner, Porsha is telling the ladies in her van that Candace has it out for her and Giselle. Porsha, hush. She has every right to stick it to Gizzard. You don't know what they've been going through. If she want to go off on Giselle, so be it. So she's like, you know, but if we both go get on her, then she gonna say we bullying her. Yes, she gonna say she has anxiety. She could very well have anxiety. Anxiety also shows up as irritability. I don't really like for people to put their mouth on someone else's feelings about, you know, if I say to y'all, you know what, the reason why I do my reviews this way is because I have anxiety. If you get down in my comment section and say, well, you could talk about people's wigs and you got anxiety, you're blocked. Like, why are you speaking on her anxiety? Just because she being shady don't mean she's not anxious. So Giselle is like, yeah, nothing is ever good enough for her. Like, even with the Chris thing, you know, I came to her. That's not good enough for her. I said it to her plainly and nicely. Oh, but it's in front of the camera, so now it's a problem. Now, Giselle, quit playing in our face. Quit gaslighting us like we didn't just see what you did over there on Potomac this season. You were not coming to her as a nice gesture, and you know it. You are really getting on this camera acting crazy. You know dang on well that you conspired to take the heat off of Rob. Let's just call a spade a spade. Like, come on, girl. And Porsha then puts her mouth on something that she knows absolutely nothing about. She's like, yeah, I mean, she's saying you trying to ruin her family, but she's trying to ruin you by saying you were making accusations like that. She's trying to ruin you. So Giselle goes, yeah, she told me I'm the reason women don't come forward with SA. So Porsha says, oh, that's very damaging. These two are getting on my nerves. Now, I know people like Porsha, and I know people like Giselle, but this is my unpopular opinion. These two are getting on my nerves. Giselle knows exactly what she is doing right now. She knows that Porsha will feed right into it because she doesn't have all the facts. That's why she has clung over here with Porsha. I wonder what Porsha thinks now after the season has aired and you see everything unfold. Do you still feel the same exact way? And Porsha, you know you would have fought a heifer for less. Let somebody say something about your man. Did you forget that you were ready to tear Yovanna's head off her shoulders in Canada behind Hot Dog Man? You were ready to go toe to toe with Yovanna because of Dennis. But you gonna say that she shouldn't be mad at Giselle and what she's saying is damaging? Come on, girl. And Giselle always need a co-signer. Can you ever stand on your own? On Potomac, you got to cling over here to Robin so she can do your dirty work. Over here on the girls trip is Porsha. Stand by yourself. Can you ever carry anything by yourself? Because I see a lot of people forgetting. Okay, we have temporary amnesia, but I ain't forgot, and don't think I forgot. I have not forgotten Porsha's family of lies. I have not forgotten how Gizzard behaves every time she gets in front of a camera. I ain't forgot. This over here ain't gonna make me forget. Now, I know people are happy that, Giselle is producing a scene, but at the same time, can she stand on her own? Oh, okay. Moving forward. So they get to the dinner. It was cute. It was a cute little setup. It was a Mardi Gras theme. However, I want to see them do more than just eat dinner. Like, I want to see Thailand. It seems really beautiful, but we're not seeing anything about it yet. Y'all could have floated around in Miami on this boat, child, and whatever else y'all doing. So Giselle gives them the history of New Orleans, which is so ironic to me because shortly after, you sat on the reunion stage acting confused about colorism. Giselle know how to get on my nerves. Do y'all hear me? She know how to get on my central nervous system. So then it starts to rain, probably because Thailand is sick of your No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. So they're eating, okay, in the rain, and Candace burps, which I think is disgusting. When I tell you I can't stand nobody burping, I'm sorry. I hate when people smack, and I hate when people burp while I am eating. That is nasty. Now, I know sometimes you can't control it and it just comes out, but it's just so nasty to me. So Marisol looks at Alexia and starts speaking Spanish about Candace burping. Marisol, see, this is why Giselle said what she said last episode. That is rude. Just tell Candace she being nasty. Just say it, because I know you're not afraid to speak up. Just say, girl, that's nasty. You burping like that? That's very unladylike. Like, what is going on? Just say it. So they go inside because it's coming down. So they second line their way inside. And I love a good old second line, honey. It's a party for real. Do you hear me? It is a good old time. So anyway, they second line on inside. And once they get inside, they get ready to play the reasonably shady game. Here we go. Giselle done brought these paddles down to Thailand. Oh, Lord, it's finna be a fool. So they start asking all these shady questions. So the first question goes, is it reasonable to take the credit for another franchise's success when your show was canceled? Well, we all know that's directed straight at Alexia. And why y'all throwing so much shade at Miami? Canceled or not, they came back and performed the entire season. It was stellar. Y'all might not have gotten canceled, but you should be, because baby, they blew Potomac out of the water. So Alexia was like, I know this question is for me, and it's shady. I didn't say I took credit for it, but we were here before Potomac and Salt Lake City. So Giselle is like, I think when you use the word paved, it kind of struck a chord with me. Alexia said, I didn't use that word. That word is not even in my vocabulary. Now, maybe Marisol might have said that or something along those lines, but I don't speak like that. Alexia, don't worry, honey. Giselle always putting words in people's mouths and everything else, honey. We know how she like to do. Don't even worry about it. She's like, well, I still stand by what I said, though. I mean, we came back after 8 years. She's proud of it. What's wrong with her being proud of it? They came back. They ain't on Bravo. Y'all not fighting for a time slot. Leave them alone. Alexia ain't with it, honey. She gonna get Gizzard all the way together. Do y'all hear me? So then Giselle asked about it being reasonable or shady to call someone a bully when they aren't being one. So Candace said, yeah, I think it's reasonable because you and Porsha were bullying Leah. Now, the definition of bullying is to intimidate, seek to harm, or coerce a vulnerable person. I do not think that they were bullying Leah. I don't. They were ganging up on her. Everybody on the boat on one person, that's too much. But I don't see it as bullying. I really don't. There was no reason for everybody to voice their grievances all at once because she said the dinner was boring and it was boring. She said what she said and she ain't changing it. Move on. But I don't feel like Giselle and Porsha were bullying her. That's just my opinion. She felt the way that they addressed it was bullying. So Porsha is like, you called for an audience, so we gave you one. Leah's like, but you were bullying me. Porsha was like, no, we were not. So Candace goes, why are you so triggered by the word bully? Candace, anybody would be triggered by being called a bully. Let's be for real, girl. What are you talking about? If they called you a bully, you would be triggered. Nah, come on now. So Porsha thinks if Candace were cool with her and Giselle, she wouldn't be taking up for Leah. I don't know. I can't say either way. She might, because I feel she's level-headed. So I don't think that she would turn against Leah just because everybody else is. Y'all notice, though, in true Gizzard fashion, she didn't say a word. She let Porsha speak. That's what I'm saying. Stand on your own, too. Moving forward. So then we get back to Heather's Mormonism. Oh my gosh, y'all been talking about this since season 1 of Salt Lake City. Enough is enough. At this point, everybody is over them talking about this. Candace is like, go to church or don't go to church. I don't care. The shady game is over, which is reasonable because I'm sick of it. Okay, it's reasonable for it to be over. So they're on their way back to the villa. So Porsha goes, Whitney and Heather argue every night. Then they get right back in the same van. Here goes Giselle. Couldn't be me. And that's laughable because we all know that you ain't going to say nothing and you ain't going to bust a grape. Now, we know P. Willie going to pop off. We know she'll go toe to toe. We've seen her in action. But Giselle, girl, you just showing out. Over on the other bus, Leah is talking about coming in through the back door. I'm like, Leah, my goodness. So they get back to the house and Whitney heads straight to the confessional to be shady. Now, mind you, she extended the olive branch by eating the scorpion, saying that she didn't want to reveal on camera the 3 lies that Heather had told. But here she is. So she gets in the confessional. She's like, the 3 lies that Heather told was number 1, she knows how she got her black eye. Number 2, she was never friends with Lisa Barlow. And number 3, she hasn't left the Mormon church. Who cares? See, this is why I cannot with Whitney. I don't care. And that was the end of the episodes. Y'all comment down below and tell me exactly what you thought about episodes 3 and 4. We will be heading into 5. There are only 7 episodes. And yeah, that's that on that. Please don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And as always, stay safe, stay blessed, spread love, not germs. Peace.